Make this one. I just did it, but there was a problem with the stream, so I'm remaking this one. All right, just guys, to let you know, I'm in Salt Lake City right now at the airport, traveling day, so that's why I'm nice and relaxed. All right. So here's the question. It comes from an officer from Denton, Texas, and this officer works for a university. But you'll see the scenario. So the question is can police legally detain and hold students at a school during a lockdown? The background real quick here. Again, if you just watched this video, because I live streamed it previously, you probably noticed that there was an issue with that video. So our university department recently assisted the city with a lockdown at a nearby high school. A caller had called into 911 and called in an active shooter threat, first saying that it was happening, then saying that he planned to do it and was on site getting ready to do it. We locked down the school. A search obviously commenced. The officer here was on the perimeter for about 5 minutes, and a parent came up and demanded that they release his daughter from the high school. The cop said no. But he said you had no. The father claimed that the cops had no legal authority to detain the child when he was there to pick up the child. Okay, so he told the person to leave, and we go from there. But then the officer was just thinking about it, and say, what is this guy? Does he have some legal basis? Is there some truth in what he's saying, that there's no authority to hold the child? And the answer is there is authority, right? And this might be a kind of a common sense thing, but the way that I would analyze this is under a public emergency, right? The public emergency at hand, i.e. this active shooter issue, is going to supersede his parental rights to have access to the child. It is not reasonable, prudent, or safe to stop what the cops are doing to try to prevent this active shooter, to send an officer, break the perimeter, who, they probably don't have enough officers anyway, to go break the perimeter and go into this classroom and say, oh, hey, Miss Johnson, your father's here, grab your stuff, grab your book bag, right? That doesn't sound reasonable. No cop is going to be doing that until the situation is resolved. So there's your answer, right? Good old fashioned agency and public emergency. I did try to find some case law on this. And of course, there's a lot of cases about public emergencies and the fact that, cops can do what they need to do to take care of the emergency and so forth without violating the Constitution. But I have not found a case on this particular incident. And it would make sense to me that there's not really going to be too many cases out there, if any, with this fact pattern, because what lawyer would, I'd just be very surprised if a lawyer would take this case with the argument that the cops have a legal obligation to stop what they're doing to release the kid. Doesn't make any sense. All right. So probably that's why you don't have the case. I hope it helps. All right. Do me a favor before you leave. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave some comments. Ask, clarifying questions. Give other, share with information with other police officers and so forth in the